plucked from the trash. Everyday objects are destroyed, then transformed by technology, reborn into modern marvels. Beer bottles shatter into a fireplace mantle. Bike tires change into messenger bags. Blue jeans shred into insulation. These are the things that are made by destruction. Over 40 million people visit Las Vegas every year. Gambling is thirsty work. 250,000 bottles of beer a day are down in Sin City alone, generating almost 45,000 kilograms of glass and a tower of empties 40 times the height of the Bellagio. But the junket doesn't have to produce that much junk, because empty bottles can be redeemed for a showpiece worthy of the hottest spot on the Strip. Realm of Design's 2,800 square meter factory might look like a high roller's mansion, and the outside might look like limestone, but it's actually made out of 500,000 empties. Inside, workers are transforming hundreds of thousands of beer bottles a year into innovative architectural pieces, and people are warming to the idea. Beer bottles are converted into decorative fireplaces. The craftspeople at Realm of Design crush and grind the empties into glass particulate, the key ingredient in their EcoSmart Concrete called greenstone. The first step in the destruction process is to gather the bottles. Truckloads of bottles, sourced from Vegas hotels and casinos, arrive at the plant every day. Dumping them into the bin breaks a few bottles, but the real process starts with crushing them down to size. A worker shovels the bottles into a hopper. Then, a ridged conveyor lifts the bottles out of the hopper and drops them into a crasher. Rotating blades break the bottle into large segments. Then, the shards pass under another series of blades that cut the glass into fine sandy particles. The ground glass sifts through a grate and falls into a bin below. A forklift carries the ground glass across the floor to the mixing area. Empty beer bottles have been reduced to a raw material and the main ingredient for an innovative new building material. Greenstone is a concrete aggregate that substitutes glass for silica or sand. Coal ash fills in for the Portland cement that holds the concrete together. The first step in the creation process is mixing. A worker measures out the glass particulate and pours it into an industrial blender, the same kind a bakery uses to mix dough. Then he adds coal as the pigment that gives greenstone its old-world patina. A computer-controlled dispenser adds just the right ratio of water to dry ingredients. The concrete blends for 30 minutes until it's the consistency of sandy clay. The warehouse stores a huge inventory of decorative wooden molds. Wet greenstone is applied to the mold. Once the concrete sets, the piece is removed from the cast. This is an ornamental mantle that frames a firebox. A team of workers wheel the mold into position. They quickly go to work coating and filling the cast with the gummy concrete. They've got to work fast. Greenstone is quick drying, In 15 minutes, it'll be too hard to work with. They pack handfuls of concrete onto and into the cast, filling in the crevices and building up the sides. Applying greenstone by hand gives the mantle a unique blend of color and texture and helps achieve the organic look of real stone. With the first layer done, the team adds another coat of concrete that's shot with fiberglass to add strength and structure. A worker runs a knobby roller over the concrete to smooth the surface and eliminate any air bubbles. A trowel levels off the top and edges the sides. Now that it's been packed with greenstone, the team wheels the mantle cast to the next station, just beyond the factory walls. The concrete cast sets in the hot Vegas sun. The craftspeople at Realm of Design in Las Vegas use beer bottle empties to make a ground glass concrete called greenstone, which they apply to a mold to create an ornamental fireplace mantle. The team rolls the mold outside. Metal bars have been inserted into the frame to give the inside walls greater stability. It's over 37 degrees Celsius in the Vegas sun, the perfect temperature to cure the concrete to a hard finish. Workers cover the cast with a plastic tarp to turn up the heat. 15 minutes later, the concrete is cured and hard as stone. A worker uses an infrared thermometer to measure the surface temperature, 46 degrees Celsius. The fireplace is ready to be freed from its cast. They wheel the form back inside. Using a winch, they gently hoist the mantle from its wooden cocoon and stand it on its feet. It took about 400 broken bottles to create this stunning mantle, and only 30 minutes to make. In Las Vegas, somebody gambled on a good idea. Turn broken bottles into an innovative building material and design beautiful, affordable pieces that are in demand around the world. This fireplace may have happened in Vegas, but there's no way it's staying in Vegas. You can bet on it. A billion cyclists around the world are getting a smooth ride thanks to resilient rubber tires. But broken glass or an upturned nail can mean the end of the road for your bike's inner tube. But now there's no need to re-tire. Spent rubber inner tubes can carry on as an awesome accessory. Alchemy Goods in Seattle, Washington use old inner tubes to roll out a hip, practical product that really delivers. Bicycle tires are changing into waterproof messenger bags. The craftspeople at Alchemy cut, clean, and sew bike tire inner tubes to turn them into hard-wearing fabric. Step 1 in the destruction process is harvesting. First, they have to collect the inner tubes. When a tire goes flat, the bike mechanic wedges tire levers between the tire and the rim so he can pull out the punctured inner tube. Instead of throwing it away, he tosses it into a recycling bin. Most new tires are made out of a combination of virgin and recycled rubber. Alchemy collects over 80,000 punctured tubes a month from bike shops across the continent. Once they've landed at the shop, a worker sorts the rubber tubes by size. She snips off the metal air valves and sets them aside to be used later. A worker carries an armload of tubes to a cutting plank and clamps a tube at one end. Sharp scissors slice the tube open. The worker flattens the tube on the plank and cuts it into 43 by 8 centimeter strips. He carries the strips to the cleaning station. A water and soap solution removes the dirt and neutralizes any rubber smell. A worker wipes the tube dry. These former flat tires are ready to change into a cool new carrier. Workers sew, seam, and trim rubber sheets into a sturdy, stylish messenger bag. In Seattle, Washington, the workers at Alchemy Goods cut and clean recycled rubber inner tubes into a weatherproof material. To make the messenger bag, the seamstress first has to sew the strips into a single rubber sheet. She stitches the strips together to form a sheet measuring 60 by 120 centimeters. The walking foot on the sewing machine guides the tough rubber under the needle, which ensures a tight, even seam. It takes 6 inner tubes to make each bag. The seamstress sews on the zipper. And attaches the pull tab and slider. The bag is done on the outside, on to the inside. To make the liner, a worker positions 5 separate templates onto sheets of durable nylon fabric. He traces along the patterns and punches pins into the layers of fabric to hold them down. The experienced fabric cutter uses a sawtooth blade to cut 30 liners at a time. The liners are ready to be stitched together. A worker sews the 5 separate nylon sheets into a single liner. 2 interior pockets are stitched onto the fabric. The liner is then placed under the rubber exterior. The seamstress sews the 2 layers together. She stitches a strip of Velcro to the front face to act as a fastener for the flap. A recycled seatbelt serves as a shoulder strap. The worker sews the strap and buckles onto the bag, strengthening the connection with reinforced stitching. Once the logo goes on, the seamstress trims the edges of the bag. The worker folds the sides over and sews the liner and rubber together. She adds a band of cool blue piping. And turns the bag inside out. For the zipper's pull tab, the worker loops on an inner tube valve stem. This messenger bag is ready to deliver. Bike recyclers have spun a new concept out of old bike tires. Rubber inner tubes bounce back as a slick carryall that's lightweight, water-resistant, and wipes down with a damp cloth. And whatever you're packing, these bags are good for about 1,000,000 miles. Jeans have gone from workwear to casual wear to everywhere. People have been wearing jeans for over 100 years, just not the same pair. Eventually, even the most durable denims have to go. Millions of pairs of jeans a year are tossed in the US alone. Now, discarded denim can do the same thing for your house that they did for your body. Phoenix Fibers is turning warm, comfortable jeans into a building product that's made to measure for new construction. Denim jeans are changing into home insulation. Phoenix Fibers takes in 20,000 pairs of jeans a day in their 7,400 square meter plant. Blue jeans have been around since the mid-1800s. Made out of 100% cotton, denim's legendary strength comes from its unique weave. Denim twill has warped threads, in which a weft thread is placed under. This forms the traditional diagonal ribbing on the surface of the material, and it makes denim tough to unravel even after it's ripped. To make this hard-to-destroy fabric into insulation, workers have to cut and shred it first. Step 1 in the destruction process is chopping. A forklift offloads bales of salvaged jeans and ferries them to the factory floor. Workers feed them into a hopper. The jeans roll into the chopping blades of 2 guillotine cutters that sit 90 degrees apart. The cutter bites down every 2 seconds, slicing the denim into 8-centimeter swatches. The pieces drop to a second guillotine, which chops them down into even smaller pieces. These cutting machines can chop up 48,000 pairs of jeans per day. A conveyor belt whips the denim scrap up, then down into a machine called a Megatron. Inside the Megatron, magnets attract chopped pieces of metal zippers and buttons, separating them from the fabric. A belt rolls the metal-free denim right into the tearing line. Inside the tearing line, 6 1.5-meter wide cylinders, armed with hundreds of razor-sharp pins, rip, strip, and shred the denim into fluffy clumps of soft thread. What were once old blue jeans are now denim fluff, ready for the next stage in their makeover. The blue jeans will be repackaged, reprocessed, and relocated to a new home. Textile recyclers tear and shred cast-off jeans to reduce them to clumps of denim fiber. During the last step of the destruction process, denim fiber flies down the pipe to a baler. A hydraulic arm compresses the denim fluff into large bales. The machine can squeeze out 1,800 kilograms of denim fluff every hour. Workers tie off the bale. Then, a forklift carries the bale to a scale. Each bale weighs in at about 200 kilograms. Then, the bale moves to the shipping dock. Where it's loaded onto a truck. Denim jeans are chopped, shredded, and baled into a raw material ready to warm your home. The denim fiber bales travel a few clicks down the road to Phoenix Fiber's affiliate company, Bonded Logic. The company turns the shredded fabric into a new kind of home insulation. The first step in the creation process is mixing. A forklift feeds the bale into the mixer. The bales are treated with eco-friendly mold inhibitors and fire retardants. Then, a worker adds a bonding fiber to the shredded denim. This unique polymer melts at a low temperature, so it can fuse the fabric together without damaging the denim. The mixer blends the fibers together. Powerful fans pipe the polymer denim mix into the die press. The press flattens the mix into a continuous sheet. A conveyor belt feeds the sheet into a convection oven, which bakes it at 185 degrees Celsius, activating the bonding fiber. After a few minutes in the oven, air jets quick cool the sheets down to room temperature. They're now ready for creation step 3. 2-meter-long blades cut the newly minted sheets of denim insulation into lengths for packaging. The sheets roll off the cutter, where an automated leg pushes them over to a worker, who folds them in half. A packager slides the strip into a machine, which bags and seals the insulation. The bags are stacked, wrapped, and shipped. At the site, a construction worker unloads and unwraps the insulation. He fits the sheet into the wood framing. Unlike conventional fiberglass insulation, the installer can safely handle the material without protective gloves or mask. It's not just non-toxic. Denim insulation is also fire retardant. Pioneering fabric recyclers have found a great fit and a new home for cast-off jeans. Turning old denim into insulation turns a new house into a comfort zone.